Hi, I'm Susie Garden, and this is the Ageless and Awesome podcast. I'm an age-defying naturopath and clinical nutritionist, and I'm here to bust myths around women's health and aging so that you can be ageless and awesome in your 40s, 50s, and beyond. The Ageless and Awesome podcast is dedicated to helping women through perimenopause and menopause with great health, a positive mindset, and outrageous confidence. Hit subscribe or follow now, and let's get started. Hello, gorgeous human, and welcome to Q&A Thursday. So this week it's a really quick and simple question, which has come in from reader Melanie H. So Melanie asks, how do I know if I'm in perimenopause, and what is the difference between perimenopause and menopause? So let's start with the second part of the question. What is perimenopause? Well, perimenopause is defined as the period of time where you start experiencing some of those symptoms of menopause, and it can start up to 10 years prior to actual menopause, which is pretty crazy because I think it's something that really not a lot of women are educated about. One of the mentors I follow, one of the key thought leaders in the space from a natural medicine point of view, refers to it as second puberty. And I think that's actually a really good way to describe it, in that it's quite a significant hormonal shift and a shift that takes you into the next phase of your life. So yeah, it's that's essentially the definition of perimenopause, is those transitional years. And then perimenopause starts from the time of 1 year, 12 months after your last menstrual period. So it's kind of important when you're experiencing perhaps some erratic cycles, that when I say that, I mean like the length of your cycle is lengthening, is getting longer, that you should probably just note in your diary or something like that each menstrual period, or if you have an app, do that so that you can really actually realize when you get to that 12-month mark, because sometimes you can even get to the 10-month mark and then start getting periods again. And so then you literally have to just start your time point all over again. And so that is, menopause, 12 months. Menopause starts from the 12-month mark after your last menstrual period. So that's the difference between perimenopause and menopause. In perimenopause, you are still having periods. You still have some sort of cycle. And when do you know if you're in perimenopause? Look, that's a difficult one. And yet, generally speaking, it is based on your symptoms. One of the first things that happens in perimenopause is that your progesterone starts to really drop. And that can really be tied into some of those symptoms that you have, such as the brain fog, like maybe forgetting things, maybe forgetting people's names, having a conversation, forgetting words. That's often the progesterone lowering that causes that. It can lead to increased anxiety because progesterone is really calming to the brain. So, you can get some blood tests, but those blood tests are not necessarily going to tell you you're in perimenopause or not. They might say that your hormones are a bit off, but that may not be perimenopause. So yeah, we really do tend to go by symptoms. So if you are noticing that, if you're noticing night sweats, for example, if you're noticing hot flushes, yeah, you're in perimenopause. I did a podcast earlier this week talking about hot flushes. So if that might be useful to you, go and check that out. But yeah, I think I've answered your question. So my intention for these Q&A sessions is that they're quite short and sharp. And for people like me that don't have a lot of time to sit around listening. And yeah, I would love to hear from you if you have questions, anything about women's health, about menopause, perimenopause, anything at all. I would love to dive into a few different topics. So yeah, just DM me at Susie Garden Wellness and I can feature your question. Thanks so much for joining me today on the Ageless and Awesome podcast. If you liked today's episode, please make sure you click the little plus button if you're on Apple Podcasts or the follow button if you're on Spotify so that you can get each new episode delivered to you every single week. If you like free stuff, and who doesn't, then head over to susiegarden.com and grab my 8 essential age-defying secrets every woman over 40 should know right now. Or if you'd like to continue the discussion, head over to Instagram and DM me at Susie Garden Wellness. I'd love to connect with you.